When we talk about analysis of algorithms and their time complexities, we are not talking about their exact running time. That would depend upon the machine that they are running, and that would be affected by the specific implementation and hardware of that machine. So we are ignoring these details. So when we do the analysis of algorithms and look at the time complexities, we do not talk about the actual running time. Also, we make a lot of approximations, like we would be doing some kind of rounding, and this can be rounded off to 1 million, and 3n square, it can be said that it is equivalent to n square, and we just ignore these leading coefficients. So when we are analyzing, we are talking about their growth rate, and we see that how the running time will increase with the size of the input in the limit. So if this is the size of the input and this is the time that is being taken by the algorithm, what we are bothered about is that if n becomes large at this point, what is going to be the running time? How is it going to affect the time of this particular algorithm? So this is how we will compare two algorithms. Also, we will see that more efficient algorithms, they are usually best for larger inputs, but might not necessarily be efficient for smaller inputs. So if we have, this is an algorithm A, and if we have an algorithm B, so for large values of the input size, we see that B performs much better than A. But if we look at the smaller input size, then you might feel that A is a better algorithm. So we will see that efficient algorithms are best for larger inputs, but they might not be suited for smaller inputs. When we do the analysis, one of the simple rule is to drop the lower order terms and drop the constant factors as well. So if we have the time complexity or the growth rate being given by 5n log n, then we remove these leading coefficients and we just say that the time complexity is order of n log n. Similarly, if we have the growth rate as 5n plus 3, we remove these constant factors, because when n becomes very large, this 3 is not going to matter a lot. Addition of this 3 is not going to matter a lot. Similarly, we will drop this leading coefficient also, and we just say that the time complexity is order of n. For a growth rate like this, when we drop the low order terms like n square and n, we are just left with this, and we drop the leading coefficient 5, so we say this is order of n square log n. So this bigger notation is going to show the number of primitive operations which are executed as function of the input size. So this is kind of going to be indicative of the growth rate, though this is not going to give the growth rate exactly, but it will indicate what is the kind of the way the time would increase if the size of n increases. And we know that an algorithm which runs in order of n times is better than one with order of n square time. And we also know that log n is better than order of n. So this hierarchy of functions that we are having, log n is better than n linear time, and n is better than the quadratic time, and constant time is better than log n. So this is the way that we have to take care and when we are comparing two algorithms. However, when we are comparing two algorithms, one which is having a complexity order of n and one which is having a complexity of order of n square, we might feel that this is better because we have dropped all the leading coefficients. But suppose if we had something like this, 10 to the power of 6n, and on the other hand we had 2n square, then we should be a little cautious when we are having these large constant factors. Then we cannot not say directly that 10 to the power of 6n is better than 2n square. Then this would need some further analysis. Let's take an example of sum of elements of an array. So this is the algorithm that sum is initially 0, and we would run the loop from 1 to n, which is n is the number of elements in the array, and at each iteration we are going to add the new element to the original sum, and finally when we are out of the loop we are going to return the sum. If we compute the growth rate, you can check one of my earlier videos to see how to compute the growth rate. So this is going to take 1, this will take 1, this assignment would take 1 step, this increment would happen n times, and this comparison would happen n plus 1 time. So let's take the maximum of all these, so it's n plus 1. Within the loop, this statement of sum would be executed n times because it would go within the loop only n times, and then finally when we are out of the loop and sum has to be returned, it would be 1. So the growth rate is, if we just add all of these, it would be 2n plus 3, and we can say that it is order of n when we ignore the constants and the leading coefficients over here. We say that the time complexity of this algorithm is order of n. Let's take another example of matrix multiplication. So we have two arrays over here, two-dimensional arrays A and B. They are square matrices. Just for convenience, we are taking them to be square matrices of same size n. So we have for I is equal to 1, I less than n, and then again the second loop also runs from 1 to n. So we have a statement over here which says Cij is 0, and then another loop begins over here which will compute the multiplication of the two elements of the matrices. So if we compute their growth rate, we know that this assignment will take 1 step, this would be done n times, and this would be done n plus 1 times. So we can say for this statement this is n plus 1, but within the loop it will go n times, and for each value of I, j would also, this comparison would also take place n into n plus 1 times. So this is for each value of I, and the number of comparisons that are happening over here is n plus 1. And within this loop, it will go n times only. So this statement Cij would be computed n into n time. Now this statement, the k loop, again this would be n square into n plus 1 time, because this comparison is going to happen n times for each value of I and j. And this statement of computing Cij would happen only n square into n times, because within the loop it will go only n times. So this makes it n cube. If we count the number of times these statements Cij and this one, they are being computed, then we can say it is n cube plus n square. And if we take the high order term, we can ignore this one, and we can say that the time complexity of this algorithm is order of n cube. So in the earlier case also we saw that the statements which are within the loop are the ones which determine the time complexity of the algorithm. And here also we have seen that the statements within the loop, they affect or contribute most to the time complexity, and the one which is in the innermost loop will be the one which will be the dominant term for the time complexity. So the time complexity for this matrix multiplication algorithm is order of n cube.